guess we're gonna do another one just to show you guys. Alright guys, so I've been keeping this a little secret. I actually ended up moving down to Florida now. That's why we haven't made any videos. It's been too busy moving. So we're gonna start doing videos again now that we have more time and everything's kind of settled in. And we're gonna begin with my little brother's car. I had an issue where the car would just turn off. My parents are out of town. I kind of took the car without telling them because I want to surprise him. I fix it up, get it running really good. Pretty sure a few pumps are going out and I'm learning the hard way. So if you can tell, we're in the middle of nowhere and this thing broke down. I'm waiting for my boy to come get the car. You gotta take it back to the house and go through it. It needs oil change, it needs spark plugs, definitely needs fuel pumps, and just go from there, figure it all out, and just get it running again so that my parents can actually enjoy the car. So this thing's been parked for a while. That's why it's having all these issues. It was built, but we just really don't drive it because this is basically a car and its memories. You can tell everything's super old school. The newest thing it has is that now it finally has a Halter Elite. This thing's been reliable for a pretty long time. I mean, you can tell it's a super old school setup. Recycled wastegate, trim X turbo, the big 1680 injectors. I mean, it's not a bad setup. It's been reliable, but I kind of want to get my hands on this thing and change it up. I have a set of intakes for it. I want to make it a custom manifold to raise the turbo up, V-mounted, I mean, do the whole setup. But it just comes down to if my parents actually allow me to mess with the car, because this car was originally built by my little brother before he passed away. So I'm not sure if they want to mess with it. I kind of want to touch it a little bit just to make it a little more reliable, but it just comes down to them allowing me to work on it. So right now, just gotta wait probably like an hour, get this thing in the trailer, head back to the house, and once we get to the house, we'll show you guys what we have there, the cars we had there we're working on, and a little sneak peek of the little shop garage I've been putting together for the past couple weeks. Hey, you know, now you're an accessory, right?
Yeah.
Because no one knows the car's here but you and me now. Didn't really record much yesterday because I was just overwhelmed, breaking down in the middle of nowhere. That shit sucked. So I went through the car already, found the issue. I didn't really see much of what happened yesterday besides the car turning off. So when you go in here, this is the wideband for the car, right? So when I was cruising around 13s. Not even trying to tune the car, just trying to get to the house, and I saw the car getting leaner and leaner. And as soon as I put the clutch in, it just went flat, basically like flat lean, and turned off on me. Tried to turn it back on, wouldn't turn back on, so I knew it was fuel issues. So I tried to turn the key on and off, see if it will build pressure. There wasn't building pressure. Ended up pulling the fuel pump when I got home, and the wire for the fuel pump actually broke off. The fuel pump was never actually mounted, like hardly mounted to the assembly. So it's just bouncing around, and over time as you ripped the wire out. Luckily, it didn't spark and blow the car up. Like I said, those are things that were done like 12, 13 years ago when the car was built originally. And this is why I want to go through the car and fix it. So right now, I pull the assembly out. I have it in the garage. I just gotta either repin it or put a new fuel pump in it. I just gotta remember when we put that fuel pump in to see if it's old enough, if time to put a new one, or just put that one back on for now. Just gotta look up the serial number on it and try to figure out. The FD here. We have the other FD right here. And then we have the Rx7 hiding. And I'm gonna show you guys what we have in the garage too. So I guess you can call this my shop away from shop. I'm still gonna go to Virginia, help Mike out a little bit here and there with welding. But I also make a little fabrication shop in the garage. I can get my own cars done, help out some of Mike's customers, and help out people out here too that needed welding done to the cars. So the first car I was in here was this one. It's actually one of my customers that needed fabrication. So we're doing a V-mount on it, exhaust, a little bit of wiring, and that's about it. And then this is a local one that he basically wanted this, but with an option to open it and close it and still have a whole different exhaust, so the car's gonna be streetable still. My parents moved out here, and actually they went back yesterday to go get the rest of their things. So they're bringing the engine from the Red Rocket down with them. I'm gonna put that into FD for now. I mean, it's gonna be an overkill engine, but at least the car will be running, and I don't have to worry about building an engine for it right now. So they're bringing the engine, the clutch. I have everything else here to make the manifold. Just like I said, just need to get either of these cars done ASAP to bring the FD inside and start making a turbo manifold for it. This is the assembly we pulled out of the car. You can see, like, it's been working. It basically it was like way back when they didn't really make assemblies of cars, so this is just like a homemade one. But I guess whatever clamp that was on here came loose, and it started pulling the wires. You can see the wires are getting pulled to the point that the negative, basically the ground for the fuel pump, came completely off. So I mean, the fuel pump doesn't look that old. I'm thinking I'm just gonna go ahead and replace it, run on new wiring for it, figure out a better solution to hold it, and put it back on, and it should be ready to go. These wires were completely toasted, you can tell. That was fire hazard really bad. And they're even melted into here, so the connector doesn't come out. So, no good. Luckily, I have my radio storage tank, and they come with pumps. So I just gotta take one of these guys, which is a Hellcat pump, put it in here, get the car running again, and then just send my parents a bill for that one. So old pumps out, new ones in. I'm gonna use the same bracket, but I'm just gonna put a better bolt to hold it, because it had this little ass bolt holding it. So perfect time to use Adam's bolt kit. So it has all the bolts I can use for it. I'm gonna use the little guys right here that have plenty of thread to go one side or the other, and put some washers that way it don't come out again, and this thing will be solid. Now it's super secured with the bolt, and the wiring's done nicer. So we can go back in the car now, and hopefully it should turn on. Please work now. It's fixed. I'm gonna take it back to the house and then surprise him with the car fixed. Surprise him, I mean, he doesn't know the car is working now, so I'm just gonna let him drive it and hopefully he enjoys it, and then let's be work on it more. Well, let's go for a little drive real quick. Tune-up, pretty decent. So right now, I think it's like 10 pounds, and since it's a half bridge, I'm not thinking it's a half bridge, this thing gets down pretty good right now. So we're gonna turn around, park it, and then tonight drive it back home. Get a little pool before getting back to the house. Oh, hell no. This is why you don't borrow people's cars. Literally mid-pool, this thing just flew off. Luckily, it didn't get hit by a car, so just gotta put it back on. Sorry, Dad. Car's back at the house, safe and sound. I got my buddy's car here too. I'm working on it. I can't work on it too much of the house, only in the garage. So this is gonna be here until I get some parts for the oil lines, and I can tune it. And then when my parents get back, I can tune that one too and get over with. So not just a waiting game. All right, so my parents get here probably like 30-40 minutes, so I'm just trying to clean up the map a little bit. It is running a little bit rich. You can kind of hear. Watch that little hiccup. I'm gonna try to clean that up before they get here. That way when he gets in the car, it's almost like seamless to him. You can't even tell the difference of what I did to the car. So right now, the only thing I'm worried about is right here. That should be way higher. It could just be like a battery, or just some wiring, but that should be way higher. Way smoother. I noticed this too, that when the car stops, people forget to do this, but you can actually disable the fans. So let's say if you park somewhere, you don't turn the car back on, your car's like basically at operating temperature. If you have this enabled, you're basically killing your starter. It's basically losing power just from the fans running at the same time as the car is cranking. So I just gotta turn the car off, let it cool down, wait for my dad to get here, and probably just see what he thinks of the car. I mean, it's gonna turn out way better, and also getting through the car so I can do a little bit of tuning on it, because I can't tune and drive with this car because this car is like super precious, so I don't want to take the risk of driving and tuning at the same time.